y'all, it's Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my entire physical TBR. As most readers, every year we make a goal to read down our physical TBR. I've been doing this for years and years now, but I think 2024 is going to be the first year that I can actually do it. So all these books turned around behind me are my physical TBR. It's sitting at 33 books right now. 33 books. We are not counting the books on my Kindle. We are not doing it. Does anybody count their Kindle books as part of their physical TBR? Let me know down in the comments below. 33 books on the TBR. This time last year, I had over 200 books on my TBR. Now, don't get it twisted. I didn't read all of my own physical TBR. Most of it was unhauled. I'm going to show you all of these books here, and I want you to let me know if you think that I can read all 33 of these. That is what I want to know. Because I've checked, and most of these I can't get on audio through any of my libraries. So, do we think I can do it? First up is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. This is the complete manga collection. I have been wanting to read this for such a long time now, and I've just never been able to find it. I'm not really an Amazon girly. I'm not really an online shopping girly. I like to find my things out in the wild. And I found this at the Barnes & Noble going out of business 60% off sale. So obviously I was going to get my hands on it. I really don't know anything about it. I think it's like a sad contemporary manga. I'm assuming one of these characters has pancreatic cancer. I'm not sure. I know Beebs read the light novel, I believe, and she really enjoyed it, but I am ready. I love a good manga. I have Lonely Castle in the Mirror. First of all, this cover. I love this edition. I know that it got redone, and I don't know if this is like just a US thing, but I'm not the biggest fan. I much prefer the pink. I've been intrigued by it forever. Beebs bought me this for my birthday last year, and I still haven't picked it up, but God, do I want to. Like this year is the year, and I really feel like it's going to be soon. Let me know if anyone would like to buddy read this with me. I feel like buddy reads this year are what is going to keep me accountable. So let me know if you want to read any of these books with me. The Poetry of Emily Dickinson. I've been dabbling in poetry the last couple of years. I found this at half price. I've just kind of been picking up random things and seeing what sticks. I really don't know anything about Emily Dickinson. I think she's from Massachusetts or somewhere in New England. As someone who grew up there, I'm thinking maybe I can get some sort of like New England nostalgia. Please don't quote me on any of this. I really don't know. I could be talking out of my ass right now. 1Q84. I don't know anything about this book. I just see it everywhere. I found this edition at Half Price Books, and it is the best paperback copy that I've ever held in my hands. Since this was secondhand, someone has already broken this in for me, but like the spine isn't even cracked, but it is just, oh my God, and it's like I can turn it to any page and it will stay open. And I'm really hoping that I love this for nothing other than the fact that I want to continue to own this paperback. And y'all know me, if I don't like it, it goes. Somebody let me know if you've read this. Do you think I'll like it? Did you like it? Is it worth all of this? But again, like this, oh my God, just look at it. Like, have you ever been, oh my God, ooh, love it. The Journals of Sylvia Plath. So a couple years ago, I read The Bell Jar for the very first time, and I completely fell in love with it. So obviously I immediately went out and I got all the Sylvia Plath that I could get my hands on. So I have this. This is all of her journals, except for the ones that Ted Hughes burned. So I'm really excited to read this. I don't know what that says about me. I know my mother is very concerned with my like love and obsession with Sylvia Plath, but I am an emo girly at heart, and I want to know. I want to know. But oh my God, this is like the smallest font I've ever seen in my life. I also have this little novella called Queens of Noise, I think it's like 78 pages. I found this again at Half Price Books. I think it's queer, but the tagline is Were Coyotes, which is a battle of the bands. What else do you need? I don't know. Like, I've almost unhauled this. I don't know how many times, but then I always change my mind at the last minute. So while I'm not expecting much from it, I hope that I like it because I keep hanging on to it, and I really don't know why. I don't typically do 5-star predictions. This is a 5-star prediction, and that is The Paleontologist. This author, Luc Dumas, he wrote A History of Fear, which I read back in December, and I gave that shit 5 stars. I am completely obsessed with it. I love it so much. I can't wait to read it again, and this is their newest release. Apparently, it's supposed to be Jurassic Park meets Night at the Museum. I don't know how accurate that is, but I did read the first paragraph of this as I was standing in line to buy it, and I was already in love with the writing. Like, I love the way this dude writes. Like, I love it. I love it so much. So even though, like, I really don't know what to expect from this story, I am expecting just delectable writing, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh God, I can't wait. Like, this is going to be one of my next reads. I do have the audiobook on deck. The Hearts We Sold. This was just a random half-price pickup. I read The Bone Houses by this author a few years back, and I really enjoyed it. So I just picked this one up. I really enjoy this cover. This is also another one that I always like grab first when I'm doing unhauls, but then I read like the first couple of sentences, and I'm like, you know what? No, like she can stay. So I really need to get to it and see. I have Robber Girl by S.T. Gibson. This was gifted to me by my beautiful friend Nat over at Nerdy Nat Reads. I read Dowry of Blood and became completely obsessed with it. I love it so much. So this is just another one of her books. I haven't read anything else from her at this point. I have an arc for An Education in Malice, and I still haven't gotten to it yet. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? But I think this is more like fairy tale-esque, which I'm concerned by because I'm not typically a fairy tale girly. It's S.T. Gibson, so I will try anything by her, and we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm really excited to get to this. Thank you again, Nat, for gifting it to me. I promise that I'll read it. Next up is Devotions by Mary Oliver. As you can see, not only have I started reading it, I don't know if you can see my tiny little tabs, but also Beebs has started reading it. We started this last year, I want to say last March, and then I just put it down and didn't pick it up again. There's something about this collection where I just want to savor every single second of it. If this takes me 20 years to read, I won't be mad. I am in love with what I've read so far. There's just something about it, like it hits. And I've been annotating it, I've been highlighting, I've been underlining, I've been dog-earing. Like, this is going to be a beautifully worn, treasured copy when I'm through with it, and possibly when Beebs is through with it too. She had her own copy at one point, but not anymore. So I don't know if she wants to continue tabbing along the top. I think that could be really fun to have all of her annotations at the top and all of mine down the side. On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. I hear nothing but good things about Tilly Walden, especially from Allison Pages, one of my favorite content creators, by the way. Go check her out. She speaks very highly of Tilly Walden. She teamed up with Tegan and Sarah for their junior high graphic novel, which I really enjoyed. It was super cutesy. And this one, I constantly pick it up and put it down. But again, found this when the Barnes was going out of business, so I decided to pick it up. It's very heavy though. My hands aren't gonna like that. I got old lady hands, but I don't know anything about it. I think it's kind of sci-fi type vibes. 2 timelines, second chances, one love. I don't know. I'm here for it. And for 60% off, of course I was gonna. Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the bind-ups of the Welcome to Night Vale podcast. If you don't know, Welcome to Night Vale was one of my favorite books that I read last year. Like, I know that I haven't shut up about the honeys, and I'll never shut up about the honeys, but Welcome to Night Vale is right up there with the honeys. I did read all the sequels to that book, and I hated every single one of them, so I'm really hesitant getting into these. There's 4 of them. I only have 2 right now. I figured 2 was more than enough to get me started. I do want to listen to the podcast and read along with these, because these have, like, there's artwork and illustrations and stuff in these, and the audiobook was phenomenal for Welcome to Night Vale, which doesn't surprise me since it's originally a podcast. This is kind of a random one, but I have Diana, her true story in her own words. I don't know what happened to me last summer, but I was on a Princess Diana kick where I just wanted all of the Diana books. So I got this one. I actually got like a coffee table book of like Diana fashion, and I still haven't gotten to them. I was really young when Princess Diana passed, but I know that like it was very traumatic for my mom. So like, I don't know, I've just always been interested, and I've done no research my entire life. I've always been interested in her. I've always wanted to learn about her, but in all of my 33 years, I've never taken the time to do so. So I'm going to start here and look at the book of all of her clothes. All of the Poetry by Sylvia Plath. I haven't read any of her poetry. Obviously, I've only read The Bell Jar. Duh, Chelsea. But again, lots of poetry. I'm expecting it to be very emo, very dramatic, very sad girl, beautiful. And again, if I don't finish this entirely by the end of the year, I'm not going to be mad, but I do want to dabble in it. And I love that it's yellow. We got another chunker, The Priory of the Orange Tree. I've had this for a really long time. Again, it's another splendid paperback that's already been broken in. It's not as good as 1Q84, but it's up there. This is a standalone, not so standalone anymore fantasy. I do believe it is sapphic and there's dragons. It's very hyped up. This author is very hyped up. I did finally read The Bone Season by this author, and I really liked it. So at least I know that I can get on board with this author's writing. But this is a big bitch. I'm scared, but I want this to be the year where I stop being intimidated by the big bitches. We love a big bitch. Now we're moving to the other side. Why am I like this? No Longer Human by Junji Ito. This is the last Junji that I own. I am behind on his releases. I think I've missed the last 2 or 3, but the last 4 that I've read have been really mediocre in my opinion, and I've unhauled them. So I'm going to read this one, see if it slaps, and I think I'm just going to either get the other ones from the library or just go to the bookstore and read them in store. Like, I'm not even ashamed. Because these are not cheap, okay? This is $35, and I bought this before inflation, so it probably costs more now. I don't know anything about this. I know that this is not his original story. He just adapted it, but I do love this cover. Like, I am obsessed. Like, I really hope that this one is a win for me, just because I want to keep the physical copy. We've got more poetry. We've got The Essential Roomie. I've dabbled in Rumi before, and I am absolutely obsessed. So when I found this for like a really, really cheap price, I had to jump on it. It's been sitting on my shelves for like 2 years now, and that needs to change. That needs to change. What I like about this copy though is it was gifted to somebody. Somebody gifted it to one of their teachers. Oh, a dentist. I am a better dentist because of you. I like when I find used books and they have things like this in them, which is the funny thing because I recently unhauled some books that Beebs wrote in. So I wonder what those people are like, where they're just like, who the fuck is Beebs? And why is there like a love letter? Over the Woodward Wall, A. Deborah Baker, but it's a pen name for Shauna Maguire. This story is woven into the story of Middle Game. I really didn't enjoy Middle Game, but I am still intrigued enough to pick this up. I've had this for a really long time and I just keep putting it off. Even though I hated Middle Game, I still have faith that this could be a win for me. Oh my god, it's blurbed by Becky Chambers. Okay, I'm in. Like, I mean, I was in before, but now I'm really in. Becky Chambers she's godlike in this house. I'm so excited about this now just because she blurbed it. The blurbs work, everybody. The blurbs work. Into the Sublime. This is a YA horror, and I keep putting it off because it's a YA horror. I typically don't have good luck with those, but I'm obsessed with this cover. Like, this cover fucking creeps me out, and I need to know. And ooh, like, it creeps me out. Like, I gotta read it. I need to know. Take Me Home Tonight by Morgan Matson. You may not know this about me, but I'm a Morgan Matson girly. I have read everything she's published except for this. I'm very excited about this. Something about this cover really gives like Nick and Nora vibes, like the movie, not the book. The book is trash. Morgan Matson's pretty funny. I haven't read any of her work in quite a few years though, so I don't know if I'm still gonna enjoy it, which I think also is why it's just been sitting on the shelves. But I keep unhauling it and then buying it again. So I just need to fucking read it. A Wilderness of Stars. Beebs bought this for me 2 Christmases ago, maybe even 3 now, I was insistent that I get it. I needed to have it, and it's been sitting on my shelves ever since. So I really need to read this. I've enjoyed this author's other 2 books. I don't know anything about it. I'm assuming it's witchy. And Beebs, I'm so sorry. Oh, hey, she wrote in this one. Beebs, make me read this book. Make me read it. Love you. I have First Wives Club. I found this fairly recently, actually, at my library's book sale. I got this for $1. And considering that this was published in like 1990 or 1992, and like this is a first edition, it's like held up very well. If you don't know, I love this movie. I fucking love this movie. I love this movie. I never knew it was a book. I did not know it was a book. I saw this sitting on one of the tables, and I was like, holy fucking shit, it was a book? It was a book. So I had to have it. And funnily enough, this was the only thing I found at that sale. San Antonio, you need better book sales, just saying. I'm very concerned to pick this up. I feel like I might do a whole reading vlog surrounding this book because it was published so long ago. I don't know if it's gonna hit. I don't know if it's gonna age well. I'm concerned, but I love the movie. I also don't know if the movie has held up, but I love the movie. Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I love Katrina Leno, and this is just one of the few that I haven't read yet. It took me a really long time to find this. It's Katrina Leno, so I'm gonna read it. Hold on, Soup, I'm coming. Oh, you're not Soup. It wasn't Soup, it was Callie. I've got volume 2 of the deluxe edition of The Girl from the Other Side. I really enjoyed volume 1, and these editions, like, they are absolutely gorgeous. So the issue I had with the first volume is, well, it doesn't seem to be as bad in this one, so that's good. But my issue with the first one was the panels were basically just black, and like I really had to squint and try and figure out what the fuck it was I was supposed to be seeing. I feel like if these were in color, if I didn't have to work so hard to see what was happening, this would probably have been a higher rating. Want to continue, I've held off on buying the third one. 1, because it's incredibly expensive, and 2, I don't know. I don't know. My continuation with this series is resting upon this volume. These editions are just so pretty. I try really hard not to be that bitch, but these are so pretty and I don't want to unhaul them. Next up, I obviously have to make my mother proud. Jim Morrison. Hello. This is Wilderness Volume 1. I'm assuming it's just like lyrics, poetry, little snippets. But I love Jim Morrison. I love The Doors. I got that from my mother. I showed her this when I bought it, and she was very excited, and I know she'll be even more excited when I actually read it. Again, this was published in the 70s. This is a first edition, and it's like in immaculate condition, considering it's like 50 years old now. It trips me out that the 70s are 50 years ago. I've got a memoir on this list. I have Brace for Impact. I have been so excited to read this, and I don't know what's stopping me. Fun fact about me, I'm obsessed with roller derby. If I knew how to skate, this would be me. And I feel like I would be amazing at it if I knew how to skate. But I'm obsessed with all things roller derby. I want all the roller derby books. So when I found out that this was a thing, I needed to pick it up. I don't know anything other than that. Like, I don't know how much roller derby is actually going to be in this memoir. I don't know anything about this Gabby person, but we're going to find out, and I'm very excited, and also I love this cover. Bonesmith. This will be getting read soon. I finally decided to pick this up because, again, I got it at the Barnes going out of business sale, and it's pitched as, like, Gideon the Ninth vibes, but it's YA, so I don't know. But I got it 60% off, so even if I hate it, like, I'm not going to be mad. But I hope I like it, because anything that's like Gideon the Ninth, I want it. We need more Gideon the Ninth. And if this is going to give me that, then I'm here for it. If you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I recently created my own collegiate course called Moss 101, where I'm deep diving into all of her books to get all of the Easter eggs, all of the crossover connections, all of it. I want to know everything. But if you've talked to me about Sarah J. Maas in any capacity over the last year or so, you will know Throne of Glass is not my favorite. I've tried multiple times to read this series and never have I made it this far. So while I only have 3 left, I remember nothing, so I have to start all the way at the beginning again. So I'm not expecting to finish these by the end of the year, if we're being totally honest, but I'm gonna try. I am gonna try. My mother gifted me these beautiful hardcovers for Christmas, not last year, but the year before. So I need to get them read. I need to get them read. Yeah, so don't spoil me. Please don't. I don't know how I've gotten through this many years and not been spoiled for this series. But I haven't yet, so please don't do it. So while this is technically one book, when I actually start reading it, it's going to be multiple books on my Goodreads, and that's because this is the novels of the Bronte sisters. I bought this when I came back from California visiting with my family because I was talking to my cousin Paige, who is also an avid reader, and she had mentioned the Bronte sisters to somebody, and someone had asked if they were YouTubers. So when I came home and I found this at the bookstore, I needed to buy it. I needed to undo that bad energy. That there are people out there, college-educated people out there, who think the Bronte sisters are YouTubers. Also, I really liked this edition because it was really giving me Twilight vibes, like when Bella is picking out her books to read out in the grass. She's got like these big chunky bind-ups of like several novels, so I wanted that. I don't know how far I'm gonna get into this, but I really want to. I owe it to the universe to read these. Last but not least, we've got S. I love this title because S is the name of one of my cats. I'm sorry that it's so shiny. It's still got the plastic on it. So I really don't know anything about this. I just know that it has kind of a House of Leaves type element where it's got an interesting like formatting. I know that this is in plastic, I think mostly because there's like loose shit in the pages of this book. And the characters in this book are named Eric and Jennifer. Eric is my father's name and Jennifer is my stepmom's name. So I felt like I need to read this for that fact, if nothing else. But there you have it, guys. That is all 33 books on my physical TBR. These are all the books that I'm hoping to read in 2024. Please let me know down in the comments if you want to buddy read any of these. Charlie, I will get you in a moment. Please, 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 please buddy read with me this year. Keep me accountable. How many of these do you think I'm going to unhaul? Let me know. I can't wait to talk to y'all in the comments. That's like my favorite part about doing this, is talking to y'all in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave me some comments down below. I love talking to y'all down there. And I will see y'all soon for a new one. Bye.